Hi, stay right there. I know you why you clicked on this one. You really want to start a business. You started a business, you got stuck, or you had a business and it's running some, but it's not really paying the bills. It's like just a job. Now you thought, oh, I'm going to start my own business. Guess what happened? You're working 24/7 almost and still was not getting the same profits what you're getting from your job. Or you have been thinking about starting a business, never really come up with the idea. Any idea, whatever you think is, oh, it's already stolen, somebody already making it a success. You know what? All those worries are gone from now today. I can tell you. In my little life, I got a gray hair. I'm losing them too. Here's the reason. I've been doing business for over 20 years, United States. I'm in Atlanta. I'm originally from Pakistan. You know that. You can tell from my accent. Is that right? You better listen fast and take notes very, very quickly, because we are going to and watch this interview yourself one time, then watch with your family and watch your kids and also with your friends, by the way. You know why? Because there's some golden nuggets we are going to share on this today. Here is the reason. People ask me, what business you are in, Siddique? I see you on this magazine and you do this and do this. How many things you manage? Let me tell you something. I never really tell most of the people what's the latest thing I have been working on. You want to know? I have no idea. Why not you write a comments underneath and tell me, Siddique, tell me what is the latest thing you're working on right now? One thing. Here's the secret. I recently started, I've never done in my life before, and I'm buying something from China. Yes, China. That's very close to Pakistan, by the way. You know that. And selling it on Amazon. Amazon, if you don't know, never heard about Amazon. Amazon is the world largest. In fact, a few weeks ago, it's bigger than Walmart now. World largest online retail store, where you sell millions of products and probably hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people selling products. It's a marketplace where you can buy it. You probably bought it, but you never thought of selling it. But how does that work? And Siddique, I never did anything on the physical products, with selling something in a kitchen product or any in the outdoor lighting or you just name any product, anything you use at home or a car or wherever it's being sold over there on Amazon.
Hey, Siddique, how are you, buddy? It's great to see you. It's great to talk to you again. And what an honor. I really do appreciate you allowing me this opportunity to share with your group.
Oh, it's my privilege and honor, and in fact, the privilege of all Pakistani and my close friends and joint venture partners who are watching this. John, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
You know my history, and I'll share it with your group. Years ago, I was a police officer in South Florida for 11 years. And the funny thing is, I never wanted to be one. It was the family business. My dad was a police officer, my brother, all my cousins and uncles. And I swore I would never do it because I had these big dreams of being an entrepreneur and achieving what my definition was of great success. And I kind of got stuck in that, and I thought I would just do it for a year or two. And 11 years later, I was still there. But while I was a cop, I always dreamed of becoming that entrepreneur and reaching my goals. And the funny thing is, I used to drive around in my patrol car with a little cassette recorder, listening to motivational tapes, Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar and Dennis Waitley, all my favorite motivational speakers and coaches. And then I finally got out and started pursuing my dream and started a few businesses. And, and I also had a few businesses while I was a police officer. Some of them were not very successful. Some of them were moderately successful, but, I had limited time. Why? Because I was stuck in a job that was taking all my time, efforts, and energy. And so I could only give so much to my business. So I went out on my own and I started a telecom business, and I had a very successful telecom business for a little while. And then what happened is our industry changed, and the segment of telecom that I was in, people just stopped using it. It kind of became outdated. It was almost like being in the 8-track cassette or pager business. So I had to shut down my business, and then I did consulting for a little while. And then all of a sudden, I was introduced to the opportunity of selling on Amazon. Now, it made perfect sense for me because we're buying everything on Amazon. Everybody I knew was buying on Amazon, whether it was our paper towels, our coffee creamers, the stuff when I had my business, all my office supplies. I did the Christmas shopping for my kids. And so it just made sense. So I started really to dig in and got started. As you said, I found some products. I branded those products, created a great brand, began selling on Amazon, and within my first year made over 7 figures. And it's just grown from there. As far as where I want to take it, my goal is to build this into a huge business, several different niches, expand into several niches, build at least 5 very, very huge brands, and then sell it off. And I want to say retire, but it's just not in my DNA. I can never retire. But I love to be in a position to know that I can, that I'm working because I want to, because it's what I enjoy doing. I have a passion for business. I have a passion for growing business, but just knowing that I have that security and my family has that security, yeah, that's where I'm heading with this. And I'm not too far away. Thank God.
Thank you so much. Did you hear that what my coach John Gill said? Did a 7-figure in first year. You know what a 7-figure mean? $1 million in first year. When did you do it last time in first year? I'm not challenging you. You may have done many millions. However, if you have a proven step-by-step process, you can do it. That's why I have him, my coach. I don't have to worry about, because I know where I can get hold of you. He is keeping me accountable. In fact, I'm not a very good student, by the way. I know you may be a very good student when you're watching. I didn't really follow through on it. It's my mistake. I'm following through on something I'm kind of lagging behind. But he as a coach is pulling me, come on, Siddique, you need to keep going and you can do it. That's where you have a coach. John, they all want to know, tell me something, how I can learn something, how I can do it. So what are the 3 actionable steps? How many? 3 actionable steps where someone who is watching right now, they can implement in their business like that, act like the cheat sheet, give it away.
Well, here's the secret. And this applies to any business, whether it's the Amazon business or it's a brick and mortar or an online business, anything, business, goal setting, whatever it is first you have to have a goal. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And it's important that it's clear, it's concise, and it's written down. I mean, there's been many studies that have proven that people with clearly defined written goals or have a better chance of reaching those goals. The other, which to me is probably the biggest of the 3, is to have the reason why, a big reason why. We all have things that we want. If we don't have a big enough reason why, it's easy to find excuses not to do it. It's easy to let things distract you. It's easy for you to, because I don't care what you're doing, what business you're in, what goal you're trying to accomplish, whether it's losing weight or building a business, it's easy to get discouraged. Things happen. That's part of life. The question isn't, is something going to happen? Things are going to happen, but what are you going to do when it happens? So if you do not have that big reason why, those things will sidetrack you and will not allow you to break through and get to that next level. I use this analogy all the time, and I heard it, I think it was from one of my favorites, Tony Robbins. And what he said, and I hope I can explain this in a way that everyone can understand. If I was to take a piece of wood, almost like a balance beam, like the Olympic athletes use in gymnastics, it's like a 2-inch wide, 10-foot long, and they dance on it and stuff. But let's just say that you were here in my office, and I took 10-foot long piece of wood, 2 inches wide, and I raised it 6 inches off the ground. And I said to you, Siddique, I will give you $100 cash if you walk from one end to the other. When you get to the other end, I'm going to hand you the cash. Now, here's the thing. If you lose your balance and you step off, that's okay. You can start over. Just start over. But when you get from the beginning to the end, I'm going to hand you a brand new $100 bill. Would you do it? I'm sure you would. I mean, who wouldn't? No risk, easy $100. That's a joke. They would look at me as if I was a fool. Now let me change the story a little bit. What if I took that same 10-foot long piece of wood and I put it across 2 10-story buildings? And I said, all right, now Siddique, go from one side to the other, and I give you that $100. You'd look at me again as if I was crazy and say, no way. It's too risky. It's not worth $100. Why would I do something like that? Keep your $100. Let me change the story one more time. Now I said to you, Siddique, I'm going to give you 10 minutes to get from one side to the other. And if you don't get across this piece of wood, across these 2 10-story rooftops, if you don't get to the other side, the person you love the most is going to die a horrible, miserable, painful death. Would you do it? Of course you would. What's the difference? The reason why. You had a big enough reason why that was going to make you unstoppable, and nothing was going to stop you from getting that one side to the other because you were going to save that person you love. Now, that's a horrible, I don't want to say it's a horrible example. I mean, it's a terrifying example, but it's the reason why. So if you have that big enough reason why, nothing's going to stop you. When those distractions come, when you get discouraged, when the frustrations come in, so what? You're just going to break through them and you're going to keep moving forward. So you have to have that reason why. And that's where a lot of people fail. They don't have a strong enough reason why, and they don't stay focused on that. They're not focusing on it every day. And then the third one is critical, but it's taking action. A lot of people come up with a plan. They got a good reason why, but they never start. They never start and they don't take action. And it's consistent action. Some people in their business, whether it's a side business, they're working for somebody and they're frustrated. They want to be on their own. They want financial freedom. They want to create a lifestyle business, which Amazon happens to be. I mean, I could take off for 2 weeks and my business is still going to grow. But if they only have limited time, take action every day, even if it's for half an hour, an hour. Take action every day. Do what you can. And that will build. And that will build to the point where someday you do have that freedom and you do have your goals. So to me, that's the secret of success. And that's where a lot of people fail.
Thank you. See, my coach just had 3. What are the 3? Can you write down what you learned from it? Goal, why, and take actions. For me, let me tell you, learning and taking action is like almost like a 0-second difference. Whatever I learned on this interview, I'm going to apply on the next one right away before even I do the second one. Many people keep learning and never do anything. They want to be perfectionist. But perfectionist doesn't really mostly. You have to fail fast because that's why, because I know my coach is watching my back. I don't have to worry about if I do go wrong. Coach will tell you, do it this way, left, right, and that's how you straighten up yourself. So I'm being vulnerable now. John, tell my audience how good student or how bad or worst student I am. It's okay. You can speak from your heart, and I'm listening and I'm holding my breath. Let's see where it goes.
No, you're a great student. And again, what I love about you is that you're open to learn. You listen to what I say, and then you apply it. And then you get back with me, you're reporting the results, and then if we have to tweak something, you get on it right away. You're not waiting. I mean, you're a dream student. That's, I guess, is the best way to say it. Because you do have that plan, you do have the goal, you do have the big reason why, and you take action. And that's what makes it easy. The hardest students are the ones that nobody would admit this, but they don't want to learn. Not that they don't want to learn. It's like an old saying that I heard is that you can't climb a fence that's leaning towards you. You can't kiss a girl that's leaning away from you. And you can't help those who don't want to be helped. They may say they want to be helped, but if they're not listening, open to learning, and they're not willing to take that action, they can't. You can't help them. They're not willing to be. And you're the complete opposite. You're obviously open. You're open to learn. You take my advice. You apply it. View it. We tweak it. We make it better, and then we find our sweet spot.
Thank you. No, that will be good. At least I can tell my wife and she watch this segment of the interview, forget about everything else. Thank you. That leads to my next question. It's a surprising question, John. I have no idea where it's going to go, but I have a question I'm about to ask you, but I need only one answer called yes answer. And do I have a permission to ask you a question with only yes? Because if you say no, we have to stop the interview right now because there's no way I can continue. I will lose my confidence right there. That's why I'm not even giving you the option because people want to learn more, but I'm being selfish. Now I'm going to ask you some question which is yes. Do I have the permission to ask you a yes question?
Absolutely.
What kind of level is that? Is that a yes, or a sound yes, or what level is that?
No. It's a sincere, solid yes.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. You see that's I'm getting a yes from my coach. Usually you are kind of shy talking to your coach, but you build a friendship to the level and they know that there's a trust level exists that you can ask anything and they will say yes. John knows that I'm not going to ask him anything which is not good for him. That's called true friendship, like a heart-to-heart connection. I always ask this one. If you watch my any other interview, I'll ask how many heart-to-heart connections and a good friendship you have. I want to know that. How do I know? Because you're going to write the comments and tell me I have 500 friends and 3 of them where I can call them at 3 a.m. They will not say, oh, I'm sleeping, don't call me, what happened? They say, no, oh, I'm glad you called. How many say that when you call them at our time? That's called friendship. I want to know that. Write this down. John will be reading and I will be reading it too. Thank you so much. And here is the question, by the way. No, should I tell you the question now? Because you already said yes.
Please. You have my curiosity.
Oh, thank you so much. I am the founder of Pakistani Social Entrepreneurship Academy, a project of Al Shri Foundation. We are aiming to train over 1 million entrepreneurs in Pakistan, people who work on Fiverr, Elance, and Odesk, and many other places, because you and I both hire people from overseas. And my background is I'm from a countryside, from a small village, from a remote city in Rahim Khan, and it's like a 5 kilometer away from main city. And I studied myself. From grade 8, I left home, and since then I have been going and finally landed in Atlanta 20 years later. Now I have clients in 40 countries, myself and publisher of 4 or 5 magazines. Huge where I was, and so many people helped me in my life since then. Now I am in a giving back mode. Besides doing other things, I want to give back because there are at least over 1 million people in next 1 year. It's a very clear goal. I'm a student of John. I can't say it may happen someday. 1 year. From August 19, 2015, by August 19, 2016, I will have 1 million students completed that one, and I can't do it alone. You are watching. I need your support. My coach, John, already extended his support. In fact, I'm going to bring John inside that he can teach our students too. Guess what? That will be almost like a priceless gift. John, are you willing to coach our Pakistani students?
Absolutely. Actually, it would be my honor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am so blessed. Again, please join me to say thank you. And how do I know? Because you're going to write, thank you, John, thank you, John, thank you, John. And he will be overwhelmed when you say pages of thank you, John. It's absolutely important that you acknowledge publicly when somebody supports. So on the behalf of Pakistani Social Entrepreneurship Academy, project of Al Sharif Foundation, and its entire community, we really, really appreciate your support on this one. So far, we have been taking, John, from you everything. Okay, come share with us. How we can help you, person who is watching, still watching, and they say, okay, I want to, he is so generous to Pakistani people and, other helping other people to grow their business. I'm one of the students. If you like me, you really want to duplicate my results, don't hire me, hire my coach. I'm taking a huge risk. You're going to cut me in the middle and go to my coach. Go ahead and do it because I'm in giving back mode. Take it away, everything. This is my whole Rolodex of contacts. That's why I'm bringing it. They're very close to me, by the way. If you take away everything from me, keep my Rolodex to myself, I can regenerate overnight almost. John Gill is one of them. In fact, he's on a very, very top list. So, however, we like to give you back something too. So if you're still watching, and how someone can support you, John?
Wow, that's a great question. I mean, I'm not looking for anything. I'm really not. I mean, again, I'm very flattered and honored that you would ask me to participate and give me an opportunity to help others. If I look back and how this opportunity and Amazon idea came to me, I without getting into the story, I mean, it was just an incredible blessing. It really was. It shouldn't have happened, and it happened. And I actually did not start this Amazon opportunity for myself. I started it for my wife, and it just started to take off and make sense. So, I ran with it. So for me, it was an incredible gift from God. It really, really was. The way I feel, and this has become a passion of mine, is that this incredible gift that has changed my life, has changed my family life, and changed some of the people that are closest to me, changed their lives. That was God's gift to me. Now my gift back is to help others. So this allows me that opportunity to make a difference in other people's lives and to be able to pass it forward, the great gifts and blessings that were bestowed on me. So again, it's just an honor and a privilege to have that opportunity to reach others and to hopefully, help them reach their goals, have their dreams, change their lives, and change the lives of the people that they know and love as well, and be that example. It's great. The success is great and the money is great and all that stuff, but the example that you become for the people around you, whether it's your children, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your neighbors, your community, your church, whatever, it's a great feeling, and it's something that you can pass on because you're inspiring others. Because these people that know you, they've seen where you started, and now they see where you've become, and that becomes an inspiration, and that's just something that just grows. It just grows and grows and grows. So I really do appreciate this opportunity. It's really, really an honor, and I thank you for that, Steve.
Thank you, John, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Pakistani Social Entrepreneurship Academy, a project of Al Sharif Foundation. We appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique. Wish you good luck, good sales, and I do hope our path cross again on next interview with another amazing guest. Until then, take care.